Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is August 10th, and right now we're looking at the visible satellite imagery. And let's go ahead and back up to yesterday morning here. And you'll notice I've got some yellow outlines here. So you can see individual National Weather Service forecast offices. If you look down here, you can see Phoenix, and that includes portions of Southern California. This is the Las Vegas one, also includes some portions of the Sierra Nevada East Slopes there down through the Mojave Desert. And this is San Diego. Here we go with Los Angeles. This is Hanford. You can see Reno does include Sierra Nevada. That's why we show Reno sometimes up in Northeast California. And you can see Sacramento would be here. This is the Bay Area forecast zone. This is Eureka National Weather Service. And also Medford, Oregon also covers some portions of Northern California as well. So now you are a National Weather Service boundary expert here for the state of California. Let's scroll on in through yesterday and put this into motion. You can see we did get some thunderstorm activity there across the Sierra Nevada. We got a couple of thunderstorms firing off Mojave Desert, south of Las Vegas here, central and eastern Las Vegas had some pretty good thunderstorm activity as well. You can see them getting going across some of the peninsula ranges here. We scroll on in through the nighttime hours. You can see continue across some portions of Nevada, Arizona, and Utah. But now we scroll out towards this morning here, and we may have some more thunderstorm activity again here today. We'll take a look at that. You can see the marine layer kind of hit and miss there across Southern California, up the coastal areas as well, and pretty intrusive into some of the valleys there across Northern California also. So taking a look at today, thunderstorm chances, you can see Big Bear Lake, you can see Idlewild, you can see Borrego Springs, and it does show a little bit of a percentage enter for San Diego, but we're not really expecting out over the lower terrain. But you can see Joshua Tree, 22%. Looking at Las Vegas, you can see it does include some of the desert areas, so heads up for that. And about a 1 in 4 chance for Las Vegas, according to the National Weather Service. You can see Kingman, and the further you go off to the east, better chances you get in Caliente, 55%. Isolated flash flooding. This is from 11 p.m. to 10 p.m., and this is for today, Saturday, August 10th. Taking a look at the thunderstorm potential here for Phoenix does include places like Joshua Tree, Desert Center, and Blythe, and you can see Phoenix, Arizona right here. Now, taking a look, there is some moderate to high heat risk. I thought I'd point this out. The coastal areas are not too bad, but once you get inland a bit here, you are looking at some moderate or major heat risk out there. So just a heads up for that. You know the drill. Going to lay low during the afternoon hours and continue to hydrate. This is for Friday, August 9th, but this goes through Saturday, August 10th, as you can see on the graphic. Now, taking a look at the high resolution rapid refresh. Let's see what thunderstorm activity we can expect today. You can see a transverse range kept rolling out. And again, some of the desert areas, peninsula ranges down through Baja here and out into the desert areas. You cannot rule out a thunderstorm just south of the Salton Sea there, right near the border. And there goes Arizona as we go through tonight. Then we go on into tomorrow, and you can see the peninsula ranges again firing off some fairly prolific lightning producing storms here as we go through tomorrow afternoon and across some of the desert areas. So don't sleep on that activity. And you can see in day one, it does include portions of southeast California, just over the higher terrain east of San Diego. Las Vegas is here, and there's Phoenix. If we put the day two, you can still see it has that little bit of a clip there for some of the peninsula ranges up there. They're paying attention. Good by them on the Storm Prediction Center. And day three pushes that a little bit further off to the east. We'll be watching that day by day. So taking a look at a wider view of things, Hawaiian Islands are at the bottom left here on this Northeast Pacific view. There's California. We're looking at 18,000 feet or right up towards 500 millibars. If I put this into motion, you can see that we're going to be dealing with some of this troughing here as we go through Monday, and that's going to help suppress this ridge activity across the southwest USA. So that trough hangs out. Then we try to develop this ridge again, but then the European, not the GFS just yet. The European is like, no, I think we're going to keep this ridge a little bit suppressed off to the east, and we're going to keep this troughing going. I mean, look at this. It would be fairly interesting. This would drop the temperatures down, maybe even a little bit below normal for some areas as we go. And we'll take a look at some of these temperatures here in a moment, but you can see the models have been showing kind of the reinforcement of this trough as we go on in towards the end of August. Interesting stuff, and we are getting closer to it. You can see this troughing, coming in just over the next couple of days, and then maybe redeveloping here as we go through the end of the following weekend. So taking a look at the GFS, this is hot off the presses, the 12Z run. Let me update that so we have all the most recent data, put it into motion, and you can see the troughing occurring there. This is the first time I'm going to be looking at this also. So let's play through it, and you can see the troughing kind of hanging out here, at least no big heat dome and no giant ridge here, giving us record temperatures, giving us some relief from the record warmth we went through for a lot of the state of California during July. And then you can see the troughing kind of hanging out across the Pacific Northwest and extending winding down the west coast of North America and kind of continuing some of this troughing all the way through the extended forecast, 280 hours out right now. So you take some of that with a grain of salt, obviously. Looking at 850 millibars, it's about 5,000 feet above the surface. So we're going to put this into motion, and you can see that troughing here potentially cooling things down as we go on in through Tuesday and Wednesday. You're going to see it hanging out there. We'll definitely take it. We need some relief from the heat eventually, right? And then you can see that kind of hanging out as we go through the following weekend as well. Much of the west coast below normal due to that troughing, of course. So that's something we'll be watching and breaking down day by day. We'll see if there's going to be any thunderstorm activity with this troughing coming in here as well, and we'll just go day by day and see how warm we're going to get. But I want to show you the 2-meter temperature anomaly. This is the GFS, the 12Z run. Let me update that so we have the most recent information because it is running as we speak. Put that into motion, and you can see this is temperature anomaly. These areas are below average as we go off in towards the next week period, and you can kind of see below average conditions. Look at that, substantially below some of northern and central California. So we would definitely take that, right? I mean, I probably won't hear many complaints on that. It's been a long, hot summer so far. But yeah, this is now, and if we scroll one more time through here, you can kind of see those below normal temperatures perhaps taking up residence here across the state as we go through the middle portion of August. And now looking at one more thing here, this is the GFS. This is the last night's run here. This is the ensemble mean. This is the average of all 30 ensemble members. So it can give some confidence in the forecast. So yeah, it does show that troughing here. And then we continue on in through next week, kind of this cat and mouse game between some of this ridging down here, just out over the Pacific Ocean. But you see the troughing here taking, hanging out for a bit. As we go through August 18th, there's 19th, that troughing sitting here, but then we redevelop the ridge here across some of the southwest USA. So we're going to have to watch that off through the extended forecast also and see what that troughing does as well. Something interesting that we'll be watching over the next week or so. Now looking at the Hurricane Center here, Eastern Pacific Hurricane Center, there's a 30% chance of tropical cyclone formation. The next 48 hours, we'll take a look at that and the GFS next to see if that is any chance of drifting off to the north and west towards the southwest USA, and we'll look at that right now. There's the remnants of Amelia here, the slug of moisture in the precipitable water map. You see the Hawaiian Islands here. There's the state of California. This is where that tropical cyclone development would be. And you can watch that just kind of spinning, bobbing, and weaving here. Does not look like it's going to be any threat to moving in to the southwest USA directly anyway, and we kind of scroll off into the extended forecast there. So you can see so far so good right now. We're not looking at any tropical storm, hurricanes, or anything like that moving up towards the southwest USA, at least not right now. So looking at the National Weather Model's daily 2-meter max temperature, still see, Redding 102, Bakersfield, still pretty warm here. You still got a lot of areas across the San Joaquin Valley that are up over 100 degrees. We go for tomorrow and then on through next week. You can see things cooling down. We're dropping those temperatures back below 100. Of course, it's hard to get there with the desert areas during the summertime here, but some relief for them also. Put this into motion, and you can see no return of the 100-degree temperatures across the Sacramento or the San Joaquin Valley, and the coastal areas remaining, right around average or so, maybe a little bit below with that troughing coming up here. But yeah, definitely a nice look to things there with cooling things off at least a bit here as we go through the upcoming week. Now looking at the 6 to 10 day, you can see again that below average signal here in the Climate Prediction Center is showing up for the west coast. There's also a below average signal here, but some above average as well. Maybe a return of some monsoon moisture here as we go through August 15th through 19th. And one look at the smoke here as well. This is the 12Z run, so it goes out 48 hours. Here we go through the day today. You can see the Park Fire, Northern California fires producing smoke. And as we go on in towards Sunday, see some of the smoke getting introduced into the valley areas and making its way all the way down into the San Joaquin Valley here. So that is something we'll be watching as well. It's not a lot, but it is something. You'll notice it a little bit at times. If we take a look, you can see the Park Fire, 429,000 acres. It's not growing too fast right now, but there are some other active fires out there. And, all things considered, it's not too bad unless you're just downwind of one of these fires. Taking a look at the next few days, this is Saturday. You can see the W is for windy and dry conditions here across some areas in northern central California. You can go through Sunday and see the same thing Monday. Moves off towards Nevada, and some of the Sierra Nevadas here also. So anyway, I may do a July recap here, California, for today also, because it was record warmth across the state. But it was kind of a mixed bag here. It doesn't tell the entire story because the coastal regions, although most of them were above average, it was not nearly as much so as if you went off the coastal areas, because once you went inland a little bit here, the record heat was definitely apparent across much of the state of California. So I did a July recap for the Pacific Northwest. I'm likely to do one here perhaps today or tomorrow for the state of California. So stay tuned for that. Let me know what you guys would like to see. It's something new I'm trying here, so it'll definitely be a work in progress, but we should be able to make it a good product. Yeah, but anyway, hope you guys are enjoying the weather out there. If you're on the coastal areas, it has not felt definitely as hot as the areas into the interior since July 1st. Record warm July again for the state of California. So anyway, click like and subscribe. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.